Star Trek theory. The Mirror Universe finally invades the Federation in Michelle Yeoh's Section 31 movie. There's still a lot we don't know about the upcoming Star Trek Section 31 movie. Despite being set to premiere on Paramount Plus on Friday, January 24, 2025, most of the plot of the movie is still a secret. We do know that Section 31 will star the former Terran Emperor from the Mirror Universe, Philippa Georgiou, Michelle Yeoh. We also know that Section 31 will occur during the lost era of Star Trek between Star Trek, the original series, and Star Trek, The Next Generation, a period of nearly 70 years that is largely undescribed in Star Trek canon despite containing many integral events for the rest of Trek. On December 7, Paramount released a new trailer that offers a few more clues about what will happen in Section 31. A young Georgiou stands on a golden world in the teaser. An adult Georgiou with her Black Ops Section 31 team stands on a similarly golden planet now. Almost equally telling is what Paramount writes in the description. Tasked with protecting the United Federation of Planets, Georgiou also must face the sins of her past. All this could be pointing to an invasion of the Prime Universe by the Mirror Universe, an invasion that only the former Terran Emperor can stop. Theory: the Mirror Universe finally invades the Federation in Star Trek Section 31. When she was introduced in Star Trek Discovery, Emperor Georgiou was the head of the violent and expansionist Terran Empire. Over the course of Discovery, however, Emperor Georgiou grows beyond her tyrannical beginnings. It is this reformed, but not exactly benevolent, Philippa Georgiou who is contacted by Section 31. That Section 31 is reaching out to the former Terran Emperor suggests that the Mirror Universe will be integral to the plot of Section 31. An invasion by the Terran Empire from the Mirror Universe would be exactly the sort of threat Section 31 would be suited to thwart. Ironically, Emperor Georgiou would have once been the head of any invasion of the Prime Universe. Discovery made it clear that Emperor Georgiou had very few moral compunctions. She considered Kelpians a tasty delicacy, and her official titles made it clear that the Terran Empire was always expanding. Emperor Georgiou's full formal title was Her Most Imperial Majesty, Mother of the Fatherland, Overlord of Vulcan, Dominus of Konos, Regina Ander, Philippa Georgiou Augustus Iaponius Centarius. Adding Ruler of the Prime Universe to that list of titles would, at one point, have seemed like the natural next step. If an invasion from the Mirror Universe happens in Section 31, it will be unique in Trek. Nevertheless, conflict between universes is not entirely unprecedented in Star Trek. Characters have been crossing over and getting into fights with their mirror counterparts since the original series. During Star Trek Deep Space Nine, then Commander Benjamin Sisko Avery Brooks is kidnapped and brought to the Mirror Universe. In Star Trek Enterprise, an entire ship traveled from the Prime to the Mirror Universe. These sorts of conflicts would be only border skirmishes, however, compared to the full-on assault we might see in Section 31. Perhaps the best analog for trans-dimensional invasions in Star Trek comes not from the Mirror Universe, but from fluidic space. In Star Trek Voyager, Voyager's crew encountered species 8472 non-humanoid aliens from an alternate dimension known as fluidic space. The Star Trek franchise has long delighted fans with alternate realities and parallel universes, and one of the most notorious among them is the Mirror Universe. Introduced in the original Star Trek series episode Mirror, Mirror in 1967, this dark and twisted version of the Federation has fascinated audiences for decades. With news that Michelle Yeoh will reprise her role as Philippa Georgiou in the upcoming Section 31 movie, speculation has mounted over what storyline might anchor this highly anticipated film. One compelling theory is that the Mirror Universe could finally launch a full-scale invasion of the Prime Universe, plunging the Federation into a crisis unlike any it has ever faced. This theory hinges on several key elements in Star Trek's existing lore, particularly the groundwork laid in Star Trek Discovery. In this show, Yeoh's character, Emperor Philippa Georgiou, was introduced as the ruler of the Terran Empire from the Mirror Universe. Her arc was one of redemption, as she was brought into the Prime Universe by Captain Gabriel Lorca and eventually enlisted into Section 31, the Federation's clandestine intelligence organization. Throughout her tenure on Discovery, Georgiou grappled with her own identity and the contrasting values of the two universes. Why the Mirror Universe could invade now? A significant reason the Mirror Universe might invade the Prime Universe in Section 31 lies in the franchise's historical precedent. Star Trek has hinted at the Mirror Universe's expansionist tendencies on numerous occasions. The Terran Empire, unlike the peaceful United Federation of Planets, is a brutal dictatorship built on conquest and subjugation. Given its imperialistic nature, the Terran Empire has always posed a latent threat to the Prime Universe. While past incursions from the Mirror Universe have been relatively small-scale or contained, limited to episodes like In a Mirror Darkly, Star Trek Enterprise, and Through the Looking Glass, Deep Space Nine, a full invasion has yet to occur. With Michelle Yeoh at the helm of Section 31, the perfect storm of events could arise. Emperor Georgiou, now better understanding the complexities and merits of the Prime Universe, might find herself torn between allegiances. As a former leader of the Terran Empire, her intimate knowledge of its operations and motives would make her a pivotal figure in either defending the Federation or facilitating the invasion. Moreover, Discovery established that the Mirror Universe was becoming increasingly unstable, with the Terran Empire facing internal decay. A desperate and fractured empire might turn to the Prime Universe as a final bid for survival, fueling an aggressive campaign for resources and territory. Georgiou's dual role, savior or traitor? One of the most intriguing aspects of this theory is the moral dilemma it presents for Georgiou. In her time with Section 31, she has proven herself to be an unpredictable and morally ambiguous character, capable of great cruelty, but also surprising moments of compassion. Should the Mirror Universe invade, Georgiou would be uniquely positioned as both a potential betrayer and the Federation's last hope. Her duality is central to what would make such a storyline so compelling. As a former emperor, she could command the loyalty of Mirror Universe forces, potentially helping them breach the defenses of the Prime Universe. On the other hand, her experiences in the Prime Universe, particularly her exposure to Starfleet's ideals, could make her an invaluable asset to the Federation. The tension between her past as a ruthless dictator and her gradual evolution toward a more nuanced, if still dangerous, individual would provide rich, dramatic material. Georgiou's ties to Section 31 could further complicate matters. As a covert intelligence agency, Section 31 is no stranger to moral gray areas, often operating in ways that defy the Federation's strict ethical code. If the invasion were to occur, Section 31 might see Georgiou as their best chance of stopping the Mirror Universe, despite the enormous risks involved. Alternatively, some members of Section 31 might question her loyalty, suspecting that she could betray them at any moment. This internal conflict could create an additional layer of intrigue within the narrative, pitting Georgiou against both her former empire and her new comrades. The stakes for the Federation and invasion by the Mirror Universe would be nothing short of catastrophic for the Federation. Unlike the episodic skirmishes of the past, a full-scale invasion would force Starfleet to confront an enemy that is its direct opposite, a mirror in the darkest sense. The Terran Empire's culture of brutality and domination contrasts sharply with the Federation's ethos of exploration, cooperation, and diplomacy. This ideological clash could lead to a war of unprecedented scale, with far-reaching consequences for both universes. Such a storyline would also allow Section 31 to explore themes of sacrifice, loyalty, and the blurred lines between good and evil. If the Federation were to face extinction at the hands of the Mirror Universe, what compromises might,